Hey everyone, it's me, Sloth. In this video, I'll be going over some ways you can make some serious money in Vesteria. But I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty broke in Vesteria and I can use a money guide myself, so this video essentially just helps out the both of us. If you enjoy Vesteria content, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and also be sure to check out my Discord server linked in the description. But with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Alright, so first off, we're going to be talking about Whispering Dunes. Before I get into the money making tips, I do want to point out that I am using a VIP server in this video, and if you'd like to join this VIP server, all I have to do is go to my Roblox group, which is linked in the description, and I have the VIP server link right there in that group. Anyway, to get into Whispering Dunes, you do have to complete the gauntlet mission from Port Fidelio, but I'm going to assume you guys already know how to do that because it's pretty self-explanatory. Just talk to the dude in Port Fidelio and complete the mission. It's not that hard. And once you complete it, you'll get access to this map, which you can use to access the Whispering Dunes. The way Whispering Dunes work is that every 5 minutes, like exactly every 5 minutes on whatever clock you're using, a mini boss will spawn. It can be a little difficult to determine which mini boss is currently spawning next if you're in a public server, so you could just ask in the chat or something. Usually people in Vesteria are pretty nice. But in this case, I already see the Octu VT health bar straight up in my face, so we're gonna go fight him first. To get to Octu VT's watchtower, just follow where I go. Once you get over here, make sure you don't fall on this wooden plank that is broken, because that will send you all the way back down and you will have to climb all the way back up. So maybe don't fall over that. And one important thing to note is that make sure you get this waypoint up here, Octu VT's watchtower. That way, later on when you defeat Syracuse and you have to fight Octu VT next, you can just reset to respawn back here instead of just climbing all the way back up again. But yeah, right here is Octu VT. He can actually shoot you if you're playing by yourself, so it's best to get like a cheese spot like this or something. And yeah, now he's dead. So it looks like I got 3 crystal beetles from that. Unfortunately, no ballista, but yeah. 3 beetles is still a good loot drop. After Octu VT, the next boss is always going to be Azariah that spawns next. And then after Azariah, it's Syracuse, and goes back to Octu VT and keeps looping over and over again every 5 minutes. With Azariah, if you're playing a melee class, I highly recommend you lure him over near this campfire. This way, you'll just keep getting healed by the campfire, and he can't really kill you even if he tries really hard enough. And so we got 2 crystal beetles from that. And the last boss that we can fight is Syracuse. Syracuse is really easy, just like all these other bosses. I mean, all these bosses are level 45, so it kind of makes sense. They're not going to pose much of a threat. If you're a ranger, you can pretty much just cheese them right here. And even if you're a melee class, I'm pretty sure Syracuse's hitbox is just super janky, so he probably won't even hit you anyway. Looks like he actually gave us a cursed defense scroll, but that's pretty much useless. But we did also get some more beetles from that. The next boss is Octu VT, and like I said earlier, if you got the waypoint checkpoint, you can actually just reset to spawn at Octu VT's tower right away instead of just climbing all the way back there again. So yeah, I'm right back here again. And all I have to do is just wait for Octu VT to spawn again. But yeah, that's pretty much all you'll be doing when you're grinding dunes, just cycling between these 3 bosses. Usually you get weapons from them that you can vendor for silver too. I didn't actually get any. I mean, the drop rates, let's see the drop rates. It's like a 20% chance you'll get their weapon, so if you do get the weapon, I just recommend vendoring it just because it's really easy silver. Syracuse does not actually have a weapon, I'm pretty sure. It's just ancient scrolls. And yeah, another way to make money is with this monster book. If you have the monster book, I mean, it is a game pass, but if you have it, you can make some money with this as well. Once you do get a good amount of crystal beetles, so this is where you'd want to spend them. Yeah, over here will reset your waypoint, so you won't have Octofeety's watchtower as your checkpoint anymore, but this is the Hermit's Cave. And over here you can vendor any drops you got if you did get any. I mean, I guess I have some other crap I need to vendor. My inventory is very disorganized right now. So I'd say Whispering Dunes is the best grinding method if you just want to idle while playing the game, you don't really want to actively play it. Or if you just really need Ancient Scrolls. Next up on the list of money making methods, we're going to be talking about the Pit. Now obviously the first thing you want to do when you're in the pit is pick up this lantern because it's just free light source. And then you jump all the way down. And get used to this area because if you're grinding the pit, this is where you'll be grinding most of the time. Some people do like to go over here to grind the pit raddies. Well, this is where you would grind the pit raddies if there were any pit raddies. Oh, there's one. Yeah, now they're spawning. If you're grinding pit raddies, you're mainly looking for incisors since you can sell those to hunter mains for a lot of gold. But me personally, I don't like dealing with selling stuff to other players that much, so I'm just gonna grind the pit slimes. These guys can just keep grinding over and over again until you just get a bunch of weapons from them. Then you could just vendor them all at once and get some good gold from that. Since I'm in a VIP server, I do get most into myself, and I also get the possum to myself whenever that spawns. It doesn't lower the chance of the possum spawning if you're in a VIP server. It's still like, even though I'm the only one in this server, it bypasses the whole like, oh, you need 3 people rule or whatever the main servers have. So yeah, pretty much just, if I'm grinding the pit, I'm just killing all these slimes at once, and then when the possum spawns, I teleport to that and kill that, and just pretty much do that over and over again. So let's see how long it takes for a possum to spawn at least.
20 minutes later.
And looks like we got a possum spawn, so I can just teleport to that. And with the possum, if you are playing a ranged class, you can actually cheese it by standing right here. It's a little tricky to get to the perfect spot, but somewhere around here and he won't be able to hit you that much. So yeah, I can just sit right here and the possum will never get me. Yeah, so I lied. The possum is definitely still able to get me because of the knockback attack. Before we move away from possum, I do want to give one more advanced tip that you can use to get a little more money from the possum. By the way, ignore this pet I'm using to cheese the possum. This was a developer gift. Yeah, to just pretend like this doesn't exist and I'm fighting the possum normally. But anyway, you get items with fortune. Now this Phil's hat gives a lot of fortune. You can get this for free from a blue seal chest in Port Fidelio. The Swift Reef Bow also gives a bunch of fortune. That's from like the hermit crab things and Terul's Maw. Same with these Sea Ward boots. And then there's this Snowy Bandit vest, again another hunter exclusive. If you're gonna do the extra money strat, I just recommend playing a hunter. Hunters also have a stat perk where you get extra money. Yeah, 10 dex, I guess anyone can get that. But 10 dex also increases the monster money drop, which is just fortune. And if you have any titles that give any fortune, you can equip those as well. So as you can see, I've gotten the possum really low now. All I'm gonna do is just not attack it anymore, and I'm gonna switch to the whatever items give me the most fortune. So this fortune title here, the alpha title, I'll equip the Phil's hat, the reef bow, the Sea Ward boots, the Snowy Bandit vest, and I'll also eat a chocolate coin for good measure. This gives me a 50% fortune boost, and now I can just kill the possum. I'll get a lot more gold. I also got a cone. But as you can see, I'm getting like 1 gold from that kill, where before I would have gotten like 300, 400 silver max. So that's just a little extra tip. It's really easier to do in VIP servers because obviously if you're fighting it in a public server, you can't really switch in time before the other players kill it. So yeah, that's pretty much just the whole pit grind. You're just grinding whatever mob you want. Either pit readies or slimes is my main recommendation. Reanimated slimes are kind of not worth it at all. There's not really much else to say about pit, so I will say it is a pretty solid money making method. It's pretty accessible, like anyone can do this. It's not really that hard. I guess if you're in a VIP server, it might be a little tricky to kill the possum by yourself if you have really bad weapons or something. So if you do plan on killing the possum, I recommend using a public server if your slot is a little underleveled or doesn't have good equipment. The final money grinding method I'm going to talk about in this video is going to be Terul's Mall. Now Terul's Mall, the first thing you want to do when you get in this map is to actually make your waypoint at the captain's door or whatever. This way when you die, you won't respawn all the way back up here and have to swim all the way down. And also, it might be useful if you can reset to catch captain if you're about to miss it, but I'm not sure. You might still miss it anyway. But yeah, anyway, you want to walk over here just so you have the captain's quarters entrance right here, and you'll respawn right here instead of all the way up there again. Now, one thing I highly recommend you have on when you're in Terul's Mall is just make sure the chat is open. This way, if someone opens the door, it doesn't actually make an alert up here. It'll just put it in the chat. So you have to pay attention to see if someone's opened the door yet. And that way you can go in and fight the captain. I also recommend being a fairly active server. Don't be in a server that's too dead because you might not get a lot of bosses in that server. You want servers where people are actually like killing the mobs and maybe giants will spawn then. Or servers where people are just, you know, spawning first mate and stuff. Which, by the way, speaking of first mate, any player can spawn first mate by ringing this bell. And I highly recommend you ring it as much as possible every time it's off cooldown because it's just a free boss. And he also has a pretty good rate of dropping like dark pearls and all that stuff too. So he can be a little difficult. He actually does hit you like a truck. Like out of all the bosses we've fought so far, this one can actually kill you. So that's one first mate down. Unfortunately, we didn't get any dark pearls, which is probably the most valuable drop you can get from first mate and the main reason you want to keep killing them every time he spawns. But yeah, definitely just been a lookout because I like staying in this general area. I don't really like find the anchor pirates either just because they're way too tanky and not really worth it for the slightly extra drop rates. I usually just fight these pirates and then wait for first mate to spawn or people to open the door. Another important thing you want to keep track of while playing on this map is the pearls. The way the pearls work in this game is very weird. I don't really know how to explain it, but basically there's a cooldown for the amount of pearls you can get in a given amount of time. You have to be playing the game. Like basically the way it works is if you get a pearl, I got a dark pearl right there. I can't get another dark pearl for like something like 14-20 minutes again. I can't get another one. My philosophy is if you keep going opening a bunch of clams and you're not getting a single pearl, just take a break from opening them for a little bit. And after like 20 minutes or so, try again. Another thing you want to take advantage of is there's this daily chest in this map. I'm not sure if it's daily or 2 days or something, but basically this chest has a timer and it'll give you a sunken key. But this sunken key actually has 70% chance of working. And if you use this, you can open one of the sunken loot boxes, which you can get from fighting the captain. And it might open. Yeah, I got 5 doubloons from that. So I can see some people are opening the pearls, or putting pearls in. So I'm just going to put the last one in. All I have to do is hit this UI and hit place pearl, and it'll open up the captain boss fight. There is one thing I want to mention about captain's quarters is that it can be a little difficult, not because of, you know, your skill issue, but because the other people's skill issue. Captain has the one attack where if everyone attacks him, he nukes everyone and everyone gets one shot. But there is a way, there is some dark magic you can do if you're a PC player to evade this. And that's tab glitching. If you see this white bar on the top of your Roblox client, if you're playing on a PC version that's not the Microsoft Store version, you can actually hold right click on that white bar and it'll freeze your game, which will allow you to take no damage from the Captain Nuke ability. So I'll see if I can show it off if he actually does it. So as he's going for nuke, I'm going to hold right click and it's going to freeze my game. I'm going to wait a little bit and I think it's over now. So as you can see, oh crap, he's going again. I'm freezing my game and look, I took no damage. This has been in the game for a while and they've never fixed it. But if you really get annoyed by the Captain Nuke, then there's that. Just do that. Before I end off this video, I do want to give a quick honorable mention shout out to Tribute Wars, since Tribute Wars is a very valuable spot to grind money in when it's actually alive. Now, unfortunately, it's not live right now. You need 12 players in the queue where you enter the queue right here. But unfortunately, the server does not have 12 people in the queue. It only has 3 out of 12. But if you do play Tribute Wars, each loss will give you 6 tribute tokens and each win will give you 15. And you can use these tokens to buy some pretty valuable stuff. These also have just some solid equipment you can use, but also, more importantly, if you want money, you can buy this Undo Scroll and sell that for like 90 gold or something. Or you can sell Holies and Shadow Curse Scrolls, it's up to you. But this is a very viable spot for making money when it's alive. So if it is alive and you're good at PvP, definitely cash in on that. I do want to give another honorable mention that's less honorable actually to Dragon's Perch. Dragon's Perch is a very viable grind spot. It's actually one of the best ones if you have a key, but that's the thing, you need a key. And the only way to get a key is from the blue steel chest, which gives you an envelope which has like a 5% chance or something giving you a key. And you can only open this chest once per slot. And it has a level 50 requirement. And you have to do this parkour to get it. So unless you have a bunch of alts ready that are level 50 to go open that chest and get a key and then run Dragon's Perch once and get maybe like 20 to 30 gold from farming it, it's really not as viable. And also there is a massive Dragon's Perch update coming soon, so this method will be obsolete by then anyway. I do hope you found this video useful, and stay tuned for the face reveal video coming soon, and also I will make a video on the updated Dragon's Perch when it actually comes out. But until then, that's it from me. Bye bye.